Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be that expression of your unfolding love. And peace begins with me, flows to you with love, through love, with love and love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. And flow, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love, love, your love, your love. Believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth, lives in close contact with the indwelling through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth, who lives in close contact with the indwelling God, with the indwelling God, with the Thank you.
How about a bit of love for Jim Bianchi?
Right? Love back.
Thank you, Jim. Putting us all in the mood. I'm Claudia Previn-Stasny. I have the joy of standing up here and singing with you. Hear me? With you. The opening song, the words are in your program. I invite you to join me and sing to people who are coming in. Come on in, we welcome you. Come on in, we welcome you're here. We're spreading the love and joy and cheer. So come on in, we welcome.
We welcome.
We welcome. We welcome you. Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you. Let go. Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love and joy and cheer. So come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Let go.
Let go.
Be free.
Be free.
Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love and joy and cheer. So come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you. Yeah. Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Yeah. Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Nice job. Love people who sing with me. Actually, I love you anyway. Let's be truthful. I know you brought your open hearts, right? So let's sing this together. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, love is all I see. Reveal the love in me. Let's sing it about peace. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, peace is all I see. Peace, baby. Reveal the peace in me. All about joy. Reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, joy is all I see. Reveal the joy in me. Oh, feel it. Let's do that again. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Love, reveal the love that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, love is all I see. Reveal the love in me. Reveal the peace.
Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me.
Oh, yeah. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. Joy, joy, reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Joy, 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 reveal the joy that I was meant to be. Every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me.
And so the joy of this evening begins with you knowing what you know how to do best. To go within and to remember who you truly are. that one power and that one presence, that God life that is here, open, available, and always the life that you are. And in the deepness of that, in the grace of that, in the power and the love of that, is all the good you could ever hope for, all you could ever want, and all you could ever seek. For each one here is the grace and the power and the love and the God life that is lived here. And so knowing that and being grateful for this service, for this time together, for each one coming here to make this evening exactly what it is, I am grateful. My heart is appreciative of all that is contributed here in this wondrous evening called the Revealing Experience. And so with the heart wide open, I simply surrender to that, walk into that, and allow it to be. And so it is. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Claudia. Very pleased to start with such wondrous, wondrous sound. Tonight is a revealing experience, just like every Wednesday night, but we have a new theme. It's May Day, and we are starting with a new theme called Freedom is My Birthright. And this month, Reverend Sunshine is using the book 40 Days to Freedom with Emma Curtis Hopkins, and it's by Kathy Ann Lewis, and we'll be studying that during the course of May. And her message this evening is, what are you seeking? And so with that in mind, I was called to move into a poetry kind of place tonight. I want to be able to take lyric from music and art and song and turn it into what you are seeking, if that is where your heart goes tonight. And we've had a wonderful guest artist here before named Margaret Owen, and she has a song called Seeking My Good, and I'd like to read that to you this evening as my sharing for the evening. And so take this in if you choose and love it, and if you know the song, I hope you'll hear the music. I stand in the silence, deafened by the echoes of the truth that flows from this knowing, a collection of evidence and proof to trust in creation as itself through me aligns, to know that my wanting more is selfishly divine. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am. A church or a temple on the ocean or a mountain kissed with snow. So many paths to God, for you are the only place to go. A being with no circumference, whose center is everywhere, who asks of us only to receive the gifts it's longing to share. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am diving from the cliffs of circumstance to swim in your great abundance. I will not fight the current, but be carried into joy, I know. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading me, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my source, and my God is my source. It's my joy and my voice and my life-giving force. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my God. I am seeking my good, and my good is my God. It's what's leading me, pushing me, urging me on. I am seeking my good, and that good is my God. I am. And so now I want to bring up Reverend Sunshine for all the wonder and splendor that she is.
Thank you, Jan. That was beautiful. Hi, everybody. Wow. I've had the great pleasure of meeting Margaret Owens amongst some of the wonderful, wonderful musicians that we have, just like we have wonderful musicians here at Seaside. Thank you, Claudia and Jim, again. I know that Jan thanked you, but thank you again for that wonderful opening music. You know, words in a song, and when we sing songs, it is said that it is a prayer said twice. You know, and in spiritual communities such as this, we've learned how to pray. And I love it that our New Thought artists have taken words like words from Emma Curtis Hopkins and words out of our Science of Mind text and words out of all of the wonderful, great books that teach us and show us the way to know our life as the life of God on a deeper basis and put those words to lyrics so that while we're doing what we do, if we indeed just entertain that tune in our head, that we're actually anchoring in the truth about our life. So many of our songs today, or maybe even our songs of yesteryear, were so filled with lies and so filled with deception and so filled with things that just don't really apply to who and what we are. I remember just talking with somebody about that one song, who is it, by the Police, I'll Be Watching You. You know, I'm like, wow, if that's not a stalker song. Every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. You know, and how great it is, in fact, now to have something different. To have music that is actually uplifting, you know, artists that can actually take words and really put them in such a way that we get to anchor in the truth of who we are. Freedom is my birthright is the theme for the month. And when I think about freedom, I'm thinking about freedom from all sorts of things. Freedom of the bondage of self. I'm talking about freedom from lack and limitation. I'm talking about freedom from this feeling of uselessness and self-pity. I'm talking about freedom from this belief in duality, that there is God and evil, or that there is good and evil. I'm talking about total freedom, that is our birthright, that when we come into a knowing and a greater knowing of our life as the life that God is, we begin to experience a freedom beyond our wildest dreams. And that freedom comes at a price. Now, I'm not a politician, but I certainly sound like one when I say that freedom comes at a price, right? Because we've heard it before on the news, but I'm talking about a spiritual freedom today. I'm talking about a freedom that doesn't cost us any money or that we don't have to do without or make sacrifices for, but I'm talking about a freedom that comes at a price, meaning that which we pay attention to is what we receive. And Emma Curtis Hopkins certainly supports that. In the first chapter of her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, which is the basis of the book that we're using this month, which is the 40 Days to Freedom with Emma Curtis Hopkins, is actually a workbook by Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis, which I found to be so helpful because as we take the next month together and these next 40 days, if we begin to really use the workbook, I mean, she's got lines after lines that are blank, so you can fill it in for yourself, and take it as a daily practice beginning today. And then next week will be on day 8. So our talk will correspond with day 8. So today's talk really corresponds with day 1, that we can begin right now, this evening, tonight. What is it that we are seeking? What is our heart's desire? What would make our socks roll up and down? I love saying that because I can just imagine the cartoon with, if I lift well, I'm not wearing socks today, but, what would make my socks roll up and down? What would really bring me joy? Where would I really feel my freedom? And in her book, Emma Curtis Hopkins talks about the good that I seek is God. The good that I seek is my God. She uses the word good where some of us in the past would use the word God. Because you've heard me week after week, maybe even month after month so far, that I talk about, seek ye first the kingdom and everything else will be added on to you, right? You've heard me quote that, meaning that if we seek God, just for God, if we seek God, if we seek to know God, to have this relationship with God, just for the sake of knowing God as our life, that all these things will be added onto us. Emma takes it just a little bit different perspective on that. Because God, the word God, if we just sit with the word God and contemplate that word, we can go on and we can actually become entranced with the meaning of it and understanding of it. And what Emma actually does for us in this first chapter is she says, hey, we really have to get to a place where we believe it. And in order to get to a place where we believe that our life is that life that God is, therefore that which is true about God is true about us, we must get to this place of belief. And the way to get to belief is through feeling. Now, feeling. We all know what it's like to feel good. Because when we feel not so good, we know. And then when we are feeling good, we know that feeling. It's pleasurable. And so she asks us to use that word God and put another O in there. The good that you are seeking, the good that you seek is your God. Because we all can become in touch with that feeling tone of that which is good. And as we become ensconced, if you will, as we become embraced by good and by this word good and the feeling tone that comes with good, it helps to anchor this belief and this knowing that our life is that life that God is. So the good that we seek is our God. And that is what sets us free. That feeling tone, that knowing that right where we are, God is, that which is true of God is true about us, that feeling tone of good begins to really infiltrate all of who we are. And that we begin to then deepen our belief and our knowing of this truth. You know, back in the day, because I wasn't around then, but back in the day, you know, we talk about Quimby, we talk about Mary Baker Eddy, we talk about Emma Curtis Hopkins. Back in the day, these folks, even Ernest Holmes, they became so engrossed in knowing this truth for themselves and practicing it and knowing it and getting to that place of belief beyond the shadow of a doubt that they healed the body, that they healed lack, limitation, illness, all of it. They were healers. And today, sometimes it feels like our teaching is so watered down in a sense. Sometimes it just feels that way, but it's not the truth. That sometimes we shy away from our own healing because we think, well, that's what they were able to do. I'm not able to do that which they were able to do, but greater works shall ye do. Greater truth shall ye do and know. And it is incumbent upon us that if we want to experience the freedom that we know that the freedom that we seek is really the good that we seek, and the good that we seek is the God. That freedom, that good, is our God. You know, when Scripture says that we can't serve two masters, it's really just simply talking about the law of attraction. It's talking about the law of cause and effect. It's talking about all of it in the sense that where our attention flows is what we create. So if we are seeking our good, whether it's free health, whether it's freedom from bondage, whether it is abundant source and supply, whether it's strength and vitality, whether it's love, wherever our attention goes is where the energy flows. Wherever that energy is what we get to create. It's simply science of mind being spoken to us from another point of view. I love it here on page 16. She says the first lesson, so there's 12 lessons in the 40 days. There's 12 lessons in her book here. The first lesson, find out what your mind is seeking and name it. Name it. What is it? What is it that you're seeking? Name it, she says. Can you name now just exactly what your mind is seeking? You would soon be set on the right track for finding what you're seeking if you could name what you want. The naming of what the mind of the whole world is seeking is the first statement of Jesus, the Christ, and the first lesson of Moses. It is the foundation thought, even in the mind of insects. It is the good. It is the good. So she tells us to go ahead and be bold. What is it that you are seeking? What is it that you really want? Whittle it down, narrow it down. What is it that you want? Because once you can make that statement of being, you can begin to use that statement of being and use the word good and equate that you want as good, so that that good is now a feeling tone which will help to anchor this belief. And we get to feel it, and we get to use it in our daily practice, in our prayer, our meditation, our contemplation, our time alone, our time in conversation with others. We get to talk about what this good is so that we can really become ensconced and enveloped. I see an envelope. Every time I say enveloped, I see an envelope, and I see myself slipping myself into the envelope, licking it, and now it's like surrounds me. It is all around me. Like that, my good is all around me. It is in me. It is who and what I am. So that which I seek is good, and good is God. So I'm seeking God. So she's simply encouraging us to know that it is all God. And that by simply taking the time to name it, to name our good. What is the good that you are seeking? That is our God. So if I'm seeking love, love is my God. I'm seeking my God as love, my good as love. If it's peace of mind, because there's turmoil in the household or in the workplace, the peace that I seek is good. It is God. Peace is my God. Peace is my good. Abundant supply is my good. I am seeking my God through abundant supply because it's all God. It's not God and this. And as we use the word good, it creates this feeling tone of I'm seeking good. So if I'm seeking good, I'm seeking God. I'm seeking that which is for life, that which uplifts life, that which is for not only my own personal good, but because it happens in one place, like in quantum physics, what is true in one place is true everywhere. And so as the good is happening for me here, it is happening for all of us, and it is available for all of us. And so as I really begin to anchor my knowing and my belief and my selfhood in this truth, then it is true. It becomes my experience. I got to tell you, though, because she speaks in such, Emma, because she speaks in the absolute, it can be a little challenging to grasp. How could that be so? How can I heal my body? How is it that I can stay healthy in areas of my life? And she simply states that when we believe it, it happens in an instant. That we can be healed in 5 minutes, she says, even in her book, in 5 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, can I stand up there and say that? Well, I just did. And what does it take to get to that place where we begin to heal ourselves so that we might express and really experience the freedom of this truth? Because it just didn't happen for them back in the day, and that it's not available to us today. It totally is. So the invitation is to journey in community over these next 40 days. To begin to anchor in these ideas, these thoughts, to transform these thoughts into a feeling tone, that this feeling tone may begin to really anchor in this belief that the good that I seek is God. My good is my God. She says it, and I love it. She says, there is good for me, and I ought to have it. Ain't that the truth? Come on now. Like, I could never really understand that saying. People said, oh, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, then why is it my cake if I can't eat it? I know what it really meant, but still, there is good for me, and I ought to have it. Now, unless I am feeling undeserving of that good, then I ought not have it. But if I am feeling undeserving of the good that is available to me, I get to do my personal work. Because the truth of the matter is that freedom is our birthright. Because right where we are, God is. God is living us. And God is good. So the good that is available, I ought to have. Because it already is who and what I am. It already is mine. And there is nothing, no thing that I could possibly do or say that could separate me from my good. Nothing. Except my own belief or thought that that is possible. And if that's what's happening for us, then we get to correct the thinking. Right where you are, God is. There is good that is for you, and you ought to have it. You ought to experience it. There is abundance that is for you. You ought to have it. You ought to experience it. Accept it. Let us accept it. Let us take these next 40 days and dissect the book and really begin to put into practice these thoughts and ideas and these feeling tones that will help us to get to that place where we're kind of sweeping out the trash that is in our minds that tells us that we're not worthy enough, that we're never good enough, that we're mere human. Let us get rid of that trash and that garbage and that BS, that belief system that tells us that we're not worthy of it. And let us as a community over the next 40 days, over the next month, begin to support one another and invite one another to have conversation around the good that I seek is my God. The good that I seek, this feeling tone of the good that I am seeking is for me. I ought to have it. I ought to have it. Let me accept it. Let me say yes to it. Let me allow it into my life that I might experience freedom beyond my wildest dreams, that I might experience abundance beyond my wildest dreams, that I might experience love and peace and joy and harmony beyond my wildest dreams, that I might experience free health to such a degree that I know no illness, that I know no sickness. I too journey with you to get to that place where we wipe away, where we uncover and unearth all of the stuff that we've been told, that we've accepted as truth, and we continue to accept as truth that's a lie. There's no such thing as flu season. There's no such thing as evil. There's no such thing as lack and limitation. There's no such thing as duality. There's only one life, one power, one presence. That life is good. That life is the life of good. That life is my life now. That life is our life now. It is expressing beautifully and magnificently as each and every one of us. I want to know that even more, to a bigger degree. Do you? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like I'm thirsty for it, you know? Like, whoa, Emma has just kind of like unlatched and unlocked another level, another goal, another good that I want to experience, that I want to seek out. And if you're amenable to it, then let's take the trip together. To really know freedom as our birthright, to really sit and rest and relax in the knowing that there is good and I ought to have it. I ought to experience it. I ought to have it so much so that it just beams from me. It just flows from me. As a matter of fact, I have so much good, it just drops out of my pockets, and it just like bloop, bloop, and you can pick it up and be like, sunshine, you just dropped your good. It's okay. It's just so much. It's just pouring and dripping off. I want to see and know the same for you. It's like, wow, there's so much good. There's so much life. There's so much abundance, so much love, so much peace and joy and prosperity, and woo, just so much that, look at you, you're just radiating all over the place. I want to see that. I want to experience that for us as we venture through this next month. Yeah. So one of the ways to start is by simply taking that into our quiet time together. By simply allowing that good that we seek to be this feeling tone. We're going to place our attention on what it is that we want to accomplish, those desires, so that they become our high and holy intention. We're going to in our quiet time, look deeply into our hearts and ask that it be revealed to us what we really want. Knowing that it's not a person, that it's not a place or a thing, but that it's an experience. So I listen to my heart and I declare my intention for this holy time of spiritual preparation and revelation, knowing that all is well with me. The good that I seek is my God. All is well. What is it that I really want? We allow it to be revealed to us, even now. the good that we seek is our God. So it's from a place of gratitude and a place of thanksgiving that we become appreciative of this time in the silence. Grateful for that which has been revealed to us on this day through prayer, through song, through the spoken word, or in the silence of our hearts. Knowing that each of us are revealers of truth, we simply give thanks for that which has already been revealed and that which continues to reveal itself in, through, and as our very life. We give thanks for this place, this space, which affords us the grand opportunity to know and be reminded that our life is indeed that life that God is. Become thankful for all of those who have given sacred service that we might be here tonight, that we might partake in the table that has been so beautifully set before us, that we might feast on the spiritual food that is plentiful, that we might be satisfied and fulfilled and nourished by the spiritual food that is so plentiful here and that is so plentiful in our life. We give thanks for the words of all of the great avatars, including Emma Curtis Hopkins and Ernest Holmes and Quimby and Mary Baker Eddy, and the words of our very own Dr. Christian Swanson, all the great avatars that live today. How grateful we are for our own enlightenment and the words that we speak, holding ourselves up to that great place with all the names that I've just named, knowing that we are, in fact, revealers of truth in our own right. So we speak our own name into this prayer, grateful for our life as the life that God is, and all the wonderful and magnificent ways that life reveals itself in, through, and as us. And simply grateful for this moment to be present now, to be here now, and to know and to anchor and to experience this freedom that is our birthright. So for this and so much more, I remain eternally grateful. From that place of gratitude, I simply release this word into the activity of the law, knowing that it is already done, that wholeness and peace and abundance and joy and happiness and love and divine wisdom and creativity and beauty is already who we are. It is so, and so it is. Amen. Amen. I can't wait to hear what has come forth from our meditation this evening. And we'll get an opportunity to do just that and to hear from you in just a moment. We've come to that time in our evening where we get to practice the giving and the receiving, where we've had an opportunity to receive, and now it is our opportunity to give forth to this spiritual community to be a blessing onto this community in a financial way that helps to support this community, all the programs and the services that it provides to so many of us on a daily and a weekly basis. So if you would please hold your gift and your offerings as I invite the ushers forward. That which you've brought to share with this community, if you simply hold it in your hand or hold it close to your heart and simply become grateful and thankful for something or someone in your life, know that you're giving from this place of gratitude that we have received and that we are simply regifting, and we choose to regift to this spiritual community so that it indeed may then regift to us and beyond us in so many ways. So it's from this place of gratitude that I give thanks for that which is multiplied in these baskets, and I give thanks that they are used for good, meaning they are used for God. Ushers, go forth and multiply this consciousness. And as you give, please also sit back and receive the beautiful music from our beloved Claudia, who's here with us this whole month. I'm so happy to have you here. And let us open our hearts to receive her gift of music.
Here we are once again, stuck in the mud, marshaling all our defenses. Pushed to the limit, we're called in for blood. It seems like the whole world's against us. Eye for an eye, toothless and blind, we stumble our way to perdition. Angels of peace, please help me release this fight. 'Cause I came here for love. It's the bravest thing I can do. I am here to remember, to let it come through.
Let love come through.
And I came here for love.
It's the
Strongest place I can find. I am here to surrender and open my mind. What will we do with this chance to be free? We've got so much love to choose from. We roll with the punches, we sail with the breeze. We show up, we win some, and we lose some. Here in my heart is a generous dream, a powerful vision unfolding. Spirit of peace is living in me, and the whole world is opening. Oh, 'cause I came here for love. It's the bravest thing I can do. I am here to remember, to let it come through. And I came here for love. It's the strongest place I can find. I am here to surrender and open my mind. And I came here for love. It's the strongest place I can find. I am here to surrender and open my mind. What will we do with this chance to be free?
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you,
Jen
Claudia.
and JD, for those beautiful
Thank you,
words.
Jim. Thank you, Claudia. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. All right. I'm going to use Facebook. What's on your mind? It's now our opportunity to hear from additional revealers of truth. What's on your mind? Who shall go first? There you go. Hello, beloved. Tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Trisha. I deserve good,
Yes.
so I'm very happy to receive good and give good. I'm trying to be more giving, and to be more giving is I like to share. So that's been one of my things that I've been working on, is to share and to be more open with sharing, because when I share, I receive back. And that part is good, and that part is God. And I'm learning just to be myself and to receive good and to give good, and it's all good.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, you know, there's one coin, heads and tails. There's giving and receiving. There's sharing and there's accepting. And to the degree in which we share, we accept. So we can't be lopsided, right? So congratulations. Next. Oh, no, I should go. That's right, Jim. Hello, beloved.
Hello, how are you?
Muy bien, gracias.
De nada. It came to my mind when I was listening to the song, that is beautiful, but at what point it came to my mind that in reality we are not here to get, because if we think we have to get, we are affirming that we lack. So we are here to give, and that changed our feeling entirely, because if we have everything, we can give everything.
So it's a great, great point. So if I have to get, does it mean that I don't have it? Where we want to get to the point is to know that I am. That which God is, I already am. And that's what we get. We get to know that. And we get to really look and seek to know that for ourselves. That it is already here. That it is already who and what I am. And because we believe in duality, or because we believe in good and evil, or that we don't have it, it gives that appearance that we have to get it. But it is who and what we already are. That which God is, we are. That's our freedom. That's where our birthright comes into play. That freedom is already ours. Indeed. Indeed. And if it's true that it's about giving, how can I give to you if you're already whole, perfect, and complete? Right? If I believe that that's true for me, then if I'm giving, the truth is that we are. And that it is simply God repurposing, like it says up there, repurposing and redistributing for our good. So it's that giving and receiving, that ebb and that flow. One more before we go.
Well,
I'm a poet.
Thank you
I
very
didn't
much.
even know it.
I've been struggling with trying to understand my wholeness, my perfection in God. What I realized, what I found out tonight, was I wasn't feeling it. I remember reading in Joel, he talks about you have to feel, and I remember that distinctly, and it was kind of in the back of my mind forever, and I never really realized that that's what I have not been doing, was allowing myself to feel it. And tonight you really help. And what I want to know is, can I get a copy of this on audio tape or CD so I can listen to it again?
Absolutely.
Is it out there?
Absolutely. Rich is our duplicating guy, and I love him because he makes all the duplicates of our audio stuff, and we can also listen back to it and watch it online. So at seasidecenter.org.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, tonight for being just so receptive and just so open. And, oh, my goodness, it is a joy to be here every week. It is a joy. It is my joy to be here. Like, when I think about Wednesdays, and I get to, wow, I get to be with my Seaside spiritual community, and I get to really just be alive and well, and I get to see everybody, and we get to really be in joy together and on this spiritual path together. It truly is a gift to me. I want to thank our practitioners today. In particular, I want to thank Bob. He's been holding the light in the back for us, and also representing the practitioner corps on the podium and on the pulpit today was Jan. Thank you so much. Both of them are available for prayer immediately after service today in our chapel. So if there's just gratitude and overwhelming joy that you want to pray about, or if there's something particular on your heart and mind, please seek out our practitioners. They're here to give us the gift of prayer, and they are so happy to pray with you and for you, and to know the truth for you so that you might know it for yourself. And they're available in the chapel. The invitation for the rest of us is to exit out this way into our family room so that we might enjoy some beverages and snacks together that have been so lovingly placed out there by our coordinator, Ginny. Thank you so much for your service tonight. I want to thank Rich again for duplicating, and Tim and Annette for doing our video, our live streaming tonight. And if you're live streaming with us tonight, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And thank you to Melanie for doing our sound, and of course, our words through music. I want to thank Jim and Claudia tonight for their gift of music. Our books are available in our bookstore tonight, so if you don't have these, go ahead and pick them up in our bookstore tonight so that you can follow along with us the rest of the month. And if you didn't pick up last month's book, we still have a few copies left, so add that to your library. And in your programs, there's a newsletter with all the wonderful happenings that are going on in our spiritual community this month. Avail yourself to them and play in our spiritual community. That's why we're here. We're here to play and to know the truth about our life, and the life that God is our life. And so let us close with prayer. Our prayer is indeed a song. It's in your bulletin, but once we sing it through once, you won't need that bulletin anymore. And I'll see you in the family room.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
Good night. See you in the family room.
Bring me a higher love, oh. Bring me a higher love.
another key. When I name it, let me get it. When I name it, I claim it, and I see it everywhere. When I name it, I claim it, and I see it everywhere. 'Cause it's mine, oh mine, the never-ending love of the divine. When I name it, I claim it, and I see it everywhere, and I see it everywhere, and I see it everywhere. Thank you, darling. Oh, gracias.